that's mentioned in today's society a lot is people believe that texting affects our writing and language skills in a negative way, and a lot of people believe to think that it affects the younger generation more than the older generation, but the main thing is that people believe that it's affecting our language and writing skills. Um, so before texting was even like a big thing, there was of course other forms of communication in the past. Um, Taking me way back, I guess the most oldest form of communication was what they call messengers. In the past, messengers were the ones who would go to someone and someone would tell them a message to deliver to someone else. So it was more like a verbal thing. There was no writing involved at all. So the messenger would go deliver that message either by foot or like on a horse or something to the person and deliver that message. Then maybe just taking you way after that. There's what we have called emailing now. And emailing is where you, well, actually, no, before that, there was, emailing and AOL Messenger was another big thing. That's when AOL Messenger is kind of like a chat thing, and text messaging was, at that time, text messaging was a thing, but it wasn't as big as it is today. Everybody usually just hop on their computers and email the person or AOL message them or whatever chat they use. That's what they would do. Actually, I remember that, but it was more when I was a kid. I remember seeing my older cousin do it a lot, and I was like, wow, why do you always sit on the computer and do this and that? But that was in the past. So yeah, those are forms of communication. Oh, another thing that another form of communication that a lot of people do was writing, like writing letters. People would maybe write a letter to someone and they would send it to, I guess maybe the post office or just mail it or get it sent to the person. But in today, people are still writing letters, but it's only really used now for people who are, I guess, in prison or in jail. That's kind of like their main form of communication because they don't really have access to technology like we do. So now that technology is advanced, we have this thing called texting, and it's becoming even more and more advanced, and more people are doing it. And now people are starting to believe that texting is affecting our language and writing skills, but really, it's not affecting not even one of those. Because if you think about it, in the past, those things were already there. We were already writing, and we were already talking language. And really, just to clear it up, language, I was watching a TED Talk video, and he made the statement that language and speech are two different things. So when I thought about that, I was like, that's really true because language is more of maybe like your culture, your background, how you communicate, like what do you use to communicate is for like verbally. And then speech is just your way of talking. So there's really there's no correlation between texting and language. Now with speech, there may be a correlation between the two, but if anything, speech affects the way of how we text. Texting doesn't really affect our speech. You get what I'm saying? Um, so that's another thing. So I just like from personal experience, I communicate very often through text messaging. I don't really talk on the phone a lot unless it's to those who are really close to me. But as far as friendships and just acquaintances, I usually just text them. I don't really call people. And I think a lot of people do that. But when we text message, we don't really, it's not really affecting our writing skills because when we text message, we think about what we want to say and the way that we want to write it. And regardless of if you're texting it or if you're writing it in a paper, by the way, writing in a paper and text messaging are two different things anyway, because you're not going to usually write you're not going to talk how you would write in a paper as you would just casually talking, if that makes sense. So usually when I text message, I text what I think and I text what I want to say, and that's usually how it happens. I don't usually text the way that I would write on a paper. And that's why I kind of believe that really texting and writing, there is no correlation between the two. They're both different things. So a lot of people, of course, do text messaging. Um, yeah. So I just wanted to make a statement that there is no relationship between texting and writing, and it doesn't really affect our language skills at all.